Finnish death metal time. Today's band is Line Ruins, a band that has been going on almost 30 years. Well, close enough. Starting in 1993. However, it took quite a while in this millennium before they actually got to release their first demos and then progressed to first album in 2009. The band hasn't been the most active when it comes to releasing albums, that is, between the first and the second one it took 5 years and now 6 years more to reach this third album in question, which is Floating in Timeless Streams. Line Ruins is a death metal band which focuses more on the darker aspects of the style. Versus so many other bands which focus on speed or brutality and all that, Line Ruins has always been about very, very dark presence, kind of evil sounding guitar leads and solos, and in general just being very, very sinister in nature. This one is released by Dark Descent, and actually it's out today, 20th of November 2020. So very, very fresh from the oven. I can still smell the plastic smell from the manufacturing company. This one is about 42 minutes, not 24, 42 minutes in total length. So being kind of a average full-length album in that respect, which is quite of a fitting length for this kind of music. I mean, this is so dark and sinister that you probably wouldn't even want to go some 60 minutes, not to mention it's kind of hard to compose an album full of music having the same style and all that stuff and yet not sound repeating too much what's going on here. Like stated, Line Ruins was founded in 1993, though previous name back then. And since that they have created this amount of miniature releases. Miniature means here demos, EPs, splits, obviously. And then these 3 full-length albums. Now, after the previous full-length albums, actually, the lineup has changed a little bit. Even though the main trio of the band is pretty much the same, that is the ones handling guitars and vocals, but now the drummer comes from Corpsest, which is also kind of linked to this Line Ruins through the other one of the guitarists, Mr. Tuomas, double thumbs up, Kulmala. Mainly, the sound is pretty much what you expect from Line Ruins. Very, very heavy, very dark, and kind of a, well, evil. I don't know how else to describe it really. I mean, being fitting and all, because what is going on with this band is that they are able to keep this heaviness and this crushing atmosphere at the same time as delivering these evil sounding guitar lead solos and melodies which could be very well coming from black metal scene, especially the kind of a more melodic Swedish type of black metal. However, I would be exaggerating if I was saying Line Ruins is sort of a Black Death combination, because even though there is a strong black metal kind of a link to the band, that is, for example, the vocalist also is part of Sargeist, and some of the other guys are also playing in black metal projects, but Line Ruins is very, very purely death metal. And one could even say it's more old school style rather than any kind of modern thing. I mean, it's not very technical, even though there are nice details and nuances in the playing style. But it's nothing like modern, like, hey, we're gonna have to have these core elements, or we need to have these ultra modern technical aspects and weird details or whatever. It's just kind of a pure darkness, you know, molded into death metal, and then you have some evil melodies there to just, you know, make it more interesting. And I think it could be safe to say that this is the best, or at least probably the best, Line Ruins album or any kind of release by the band so far, because now it seems they have been able to nail everything here even better than previously. On top of songwriting and these details in music, be it drums, guitars, whatever, the production is very, very solid. And that, I guess, is partly thanks to the Mr. Sound Engineer guy, who is also famous for Fintroll and Moonsorrow and other bands in Finland. Lots of stuff going on with Mr. Sorvali. So overall, great craftsmanship, interesting songwriting, and overall a great design in death metal. The only thing which I could complain about, but I don't really want to complain, is the lack of kind of a catchiness. None of these songs are that, you know, memorable as individual songs, rather than having this great evil atmosphere surrounding the whole deal here. So I think overall a really good album in terms of death metal, and I think something you should be checking out whether or not you're a death metal fanatic. Really good addition to 2020, which is already a great year in terms of metal music. So check out the latest Line Ruins. You will find the links provided, so you can just click and start listening to some evil, nasty sounding death metal. This being said, take care and have a good weekend.